Hey everyone, it's another Friday and another fundamentals video. For today's topic, I thought it would be a good idea to go over one of the most basic, but still nonetheless incredibly important things in After Effects, compositions. Compositions, usually shortened to just comps, are basically folders inside of After Effects. These folders all have their own timelines and contain layers of footage, audio, animations, etc. Each comp is basically its own self-contained movie, and you can have as many as you need in a given project. Simple videos might have just one, while some projects can have hundreds nested inside each other. To make a new comp, you can click the film strip button on the bottom of the projects window. When you do this, a dialog box will open up with all of your settings. At the top, you can give your comp its name, and if you're just making a short and simple thing, leaving it alone is fine, but if you're going to be using multiple comps, it's a very good idea to name them and keep things organized, else it will quickly descend into chaos. Under that is the Video Dimensions presets list. In here, as of the most recent CC update, you have pre-built options for web video and banners, NTSC widescreen videos, 720 and 1080p video, and even 2 and 4K video, among others. You can also manually enter custom video dimensions under that list with the option to turn on or off the aspect ratio lock, which will keep dimensions proportional if left on. Beneath that is the pixel aspect ratio, which will change how your pixels are spaced inside the comp's dimensions. Typically, you want to leave this alone, since changing what's automatically set can cause distortion in your image. Next on the list is the video's resolution. This is a setting for how high quality your comp's preview will be. Full will be the highest quality, and will therefore be slower to preview, and far more intense on your system resources, particularly if you're using any kind of 3D effects, such as ray tracing. Half will be at half the quality and pixel dimensions of full, and will therefore be twice as fast, and it goes from there. After that comes the start time code. Usually you can leave this at 0, which means when you open your comp, the first frame will be frame 0 of 0 seconds, 0 minutes, and 0 hours. But if your comp is going to be part of a larger project, say something for broadcast where you need the animation to start at a specific time in a project, you can change this and that will be the time the comp starts. The next setting controls how much time your comp actually lasts. If you've changed your start time code, it will still be that exact same duration, just starting from the time code you set. Lastly, you can change the background color of the comp. Back up at the top of the window, there is also a tab for advanced settings. In here, you have options to control how your 3D is rendered. By default, an AE comp will be set to use the classic 3D option, which is fine for most projects. If you want to do elaborate 3D scenes inside of AE though, involving reflections, environment maps, refraction, and other real 3D effects, you might want to use the ray tracing option. Though it should be noted that you need some specific graphics cards that can handle ray tracing, and honestly, it might be better just to use Cinema 4D Lite, which is now built into After Effects, which you can also use for 3D purposes without the drawbacks of being slower to render and more intense on your computer. Under that, you can preserve the frame rate and resolution when nested inside other comps, and make the comp into a template comp for use in Premiere. Beneath those are controls for how motion blur renders in the scene. Once you've got the settings you want, hit OK and you'll have your comp open, and the comp will be added to your projects window. You can also open that same dialog by hitting Command N on a Mac or Control N on a PC. On top of that, at any time, you can change all of those settings that I just went over. To do that, you can go into the composition menu at the top of After Effects and choose to change composition settings. Or you can type Command K on a Mac and Control K on a PC to do the same thing. This is the exact same dialog box as before and can be used to change any of the settings as needed. That all said, there is another important element of this in AE known as pre-comping. Pre-comps act in After Effects kind of like smart objects in Photoshop. They're another way to keep things organized and can be used as containers for layers, which you can then apply effects to as a group. Say you've animated a simple character with shape layers so they're walking. It might be a better idea, instead of worrying about screwing up the walk cycle, to pre-comp all of the parts of your character and then apply position animations or effects to that comp as a whole. To make a pre-comp, select the layers you want to group in your timeline by holding Shift and clicking 2 layers to select a range, or by holding Command or Control and clicking the individual layers you want. Once you have them selected, right-click and choose to Pre-Composition, which will open a new dialog box. In that box, you have the option to change the name of the pre-comp and whether the attributes will be left in the composition or moved into the new pre-comp. Though I will say I have yet to find a reason to leave the attributes. You can also make the new pre-comp the exact time of the layers you've selected, and choose whether you want the new composition to open once you hit OK or not. When you click OK, the comp will be added to the projects window and will be in the original comp in place of the layers. Because every comp and pre-comp are added to the projects window, you can select any of them or all of them to render separately as well. And that was compositions. As always, I hope you've all learned something and enjoyed yourself doing it. If you have any questions, thoughts, or other feedback, you can let me know with a comment down below. You can also like this video and share it around, which helps with Google's rankings. And I'm planning to be back here every Friday, so be sure to subscribe for more awesome content. Have a great day, everyone.